Hello, my friends. Welcome to a new psalm in our 30 days in our journey together. Psalms we're praying together and finding keys to use in our personal life or as a help for other people. This is your Pastor Yadi. Vindicate and refine. Vindicate me, Lord, because I have walked in integrity. Examine me, Lord, and inspect me. Test my heart and mind. Psalm 26, verses 1 to 2. Have you ever found yourself in the middle of complete contempt, accusations, and rumors that seems to swirl and twirl all around you, growing ever bigger by the hour? Have you ever tried to present your case and tell of your innocence, but people around you were not buying it? In Psalm 26, this is the very place where we find David. Yet again, he finds himself hated and accused with a trial of slander, rumors, and lies spreading all throughout the land. Although we do not have the exact timing when this psalm was penned, we do find David in a great anguish, calling out to God for vindication. Most commentaries agree that Saul was probably the perpetrator of these slandered lies. It is probably that David penned this psalm when he was persecuted by Saul and his party, who, to give some color to their unjust rage, represented him as a very bad man and falsely accused him of many high crimes and misdemeanors, dressed him up in the skins of wild beasts that they might beat him. Can you even imagine someone hating you enough to spread such malicious lies, and then to wrap you in the skins of wild beasts as bait? In the Matthew Henry commentary does not tell us how he might have escaped this fate, but we simply know that he did. So the one who was the king and also the judge in the land, Saul, was still completely against David, filled with contempt, hate, and jealousy of this one warrior. You might say Saul wanted the very memory of David wiped out of the book, and he did all that he could possibly do as king to make it happen. There was nothing that David could do or say that would convince Saul or his army or anyone else looking upon him that he was innocent. So David did what he always does best. He turned to God and God alone. Our man Spurgeon says it so beautifully. The sweet singer of Israel appears before us in this psalm as one enduring reproach. In this he was a type of the great son of David, and is an encouraging example to us to carry the burden of slander to the throne of grace. David appealed to the throne of grace and did not make his appeal to mere man, but to God alone. He turned yet again to the supreme judge. Right here lies our key: appeal to the throne of grace. There is one God and one name who can and will deliver the righteous, and that is the Lord. Notice in this psalm, David did not lift his cause to people or friends or peers. He went straight to the only name that he knew would deliver him. He appealed to the one sitting upon the throne of grace. Should we find ourselves in a similar situation, this is the key we want to use: appeal to the throne of grace. David prays, "Vindicate me, O my Lord." He is crying out, "God, you be the one who pronounces your judgment upon my life." Now, that is an extremely bold prayer, but David knew in the depths of his heart that he was walking before the Lord in full integrity. So he prayed in full confidence, "Vindicate me and judge me." Now we have seen this in several different psalms. However, David does not go back to a previous psalm and repeat this prayer. He actually makes a bookmark moment of the present time of accusations, and he writes about it and sings this song to God in the same time frame. He declares his devotion to God in this new season, and he writes of his heart's resolve to love God, whatever the cost. Here lies another key, and I am calling it resolve. Oh, pick up this key and resolve in your heart right here and now that no matter what the circumstances, no matter what the accusation, be able to say, "This is my resolve. I am taking this key, resolve. I have settled this issue in my heart, and I resolve to love God and trust Him alone through every season and every trial that I walk through." I will make a bookmark moment right here to resolve and testify again that I trust the Lord, right here and right now. I love the Lord and I walk before Him in complete trust. Now, if you have ever heard, "Never waste a good trial," this is exactly that David did. He asked God to act as lawgiver or judge or governor in his life. He is saying, "God, rule, govern, and be the judge in my life. God, I am calling upon you to decide this controversy." Along with this cry to God for complete vindication, he also prays, "Examine me, O Lord, and prove me." This is a bold prayer when one needs God to step in with vindication. And David prays, "Test me and prove me. Try me like the gold. Look closely at my heart and examine it. God, see if my heart is not completely yours." When we bring in the Greek, the first verb means to test, and the second phrase is literally, "Burn my kidneys and my heart." I think the imagery is that this entire being in being engulfed in God's cleansing flame so that all that remains is pure. David is sure of this, his faithful walk before the Lord, that he cries out to God, do not only vindicate and judge him, but examine me closer, and try me 7 times in the fire, to reveal that my heart is like gold. Lord, ask me the hard questions. Prove me even through the adversity, to prove that my faith is sure. My heart is set upon you. These are very courageous prayers. This truly is a psalm of not wasting a good trial. For we have this invitation to ask God for vindication, but also in the very same breath, God, prove me like the gold 7 times in the fire, and you will see, O God, that from the core of my being I am faithful to you alone. David says, I don't sit with the people who just pretend to like you or pretend before men to serve you. I don't sit with those who are pretending and being false in their walk with you, Lord. Can you imagine David being in this great controversy with Saul? He had one person to go to, and that was the Lord. The only person who could 100% vindicate David was God. This psalm would have been a song that he sang, and Spurgeon calls it a solemn appeal to the just tribunal of the heart-searching God, warranted by the circumstances of the writer, so far as regards the particular offenses with which he was wrongly charged. Worried and worn out by the injustice of man, the innocent spirit flies from its false accusers to the throne of the eternal right. David actually makes it personal. He does 2 things. Number 1, he prays, God, examine me, test me, prove me, and try my heart. You are the heart-searching God. So in this season, when I actually did nothing wrong and I have right standing before you, I am clean before you, God. I want you to examine and prove and try my heart. And David makes the season about his own heart before God. The second thing that David does is he sings, your loving kindness is before my eyes. This is quite miraculous. He doesn't dwell on all the anger and the false accusations. He does not dwell on the negative and the bitterness. He actually says, before my eyes, I will put the loving kindness of God. I'm going to dwell on the mercy, the loving kindness, and the passion of God. This is our final key, the goodness of God. Oh, beloved, take this key and set it before all that you do, so that in every season and at very turn, our focus is the goodness of God. Then we can radically attack. We can have lies spreading about us. But excuse me. And we can do what David did. He shows us right here the outcome of using these keys and keeping our focus on our heart in the right place. We can still be radically, passionately in love with God, right in the middle of every negative, false narrative that tries to come our way. We can use this key that David used, and our landing place is the goodness of God. So no matter what slander may arise, some might not ever face it, but can your resolve be I will trust God. You will wholeheartedly love Him in the midst of any negative swirl. Can we all say, examine me and prove me and make me like the gold? Vindicate me, O my Lord, for I lean on you. Lord, would you come refine me? Know my thoughts, prove my heart and my mind, for your loving kindness is before my eyes, and I have walked in your truth. So when I come before you, I come ever clean, singing songs of thanksgiving, songs of your wonders. I love the habitation of your house. I love the place your glory dwells. This place of dazzling glory and majestic splendor and the light of your presence, O God. I will love you, and you will my whole heart. So write the psalm out, Psalm 26. This week say the psalm out loud. Turn it into a prayer. Write the psalm down. Decree the psalm over your life. And can you remember the keys? Appeal to the throne of grace. And the second one is resolve. Excuse me. And the final key is the goodness of God. So, is this not very interesting that David, through all these accusations, he turns away from the negative and asks God to test him? It's so beautiful. May God be that one for you, the only God who sits on the throne of grace, the right judge. And may you walk your path with guidance with the Holy Spirit. And God bless you. This is your Pastor Yadi. Bye-bye.